How to avoid making the same mistakes in the future. 18M. 18F. Hello everyone. I posted here a couple times a couple weeks ago about how a girl I was hanging out with was acting strange, trying to make me jealous, etc. Well, it blew up and I want some advice on how to avoid this in the future. Extremely simplified background. We dated a couple years ago, broke up, didn't talk for a year. I'd been told she didn't want to. We have classes together this year, so she added me on socials and stuff again. She was really into me. We hung out and had a great time. She was annoyed that I didn't kiss her. We went to a party a week later and we made out, but she was mad I didn't make a move earlier. She started talking to another guy to make me jealous. Her friends confirmed this. We made plans that fell through. She eventually dropped me a couple weeks ago and now, supposedly, she's hanging out with some other guy. I don't want to hang out with her or whatever. She's somewhat emotionally immature and honestly I value her more as a friend. I mostly hung out with her due to pressure from friends and stuff, but I want to learn how to avoid making some mistakes again. 1. She still flirts with me. Very obviously. This is to the point that my friends have pointed it out and think she's into me. She doesn't snap me anymore, which I'm sort of glad about, but how do I avoid making her think I'm into her? Because knowing her, she'll be into me again within the next couple months and I honestly am not sure if I'd say no, even though I know I should, want to. Currently I just try to treat her like I'd treat any of my other friends, but I feel like that actually doesn't help me since I don't want her thinking I'm still into her. I also can't really distance myself since we're in a really tight-knit group and share half of our classes. 2. She wanted to kiss me and I didn't realize. In the future with other people, how should I treat this situation? Here's what was going on. I was at a party with my friends and not in my right mind if you know what I mean, and the girl I'm talking about came to the party. Everyone else clears out of the room we were in. Apparently this was set up, and we cuddled on the couch. Now I'm not straight. We were cuddling and I tried to make a move on her, but she backed away and said something like, okay my name, or, ehhh, so I figured she didn't want to do anything. And I hadn't kissed anyone before, so safe to say I used pretty much all my confidence, courage on that. Also, this is sort of key, we weren't anything at that point. We were friends who had hung out a couple times and I didn't know what she wanted exactly with this whole thing. She then went on her phone and called some friends and started talking about some random drama, which left me just sitting there with her. She got off the call about 10 minutes later and then just stared deep into my eyes, like weirdly deep. And I got kinda weirded out. She started saying things like, come on my name, and, you can do it. Again, I'm not street. And could figure out what she meant. But I already tried and she backed off. I didn't want to make her uncomfortable or anything, and again I wasn't exactly in the right state of mind right then. I also was insanely nervous as I had never done this before. Anyways, about a minute later we kissed and a bit later she left. I thought it went fine. After I left, I went upstairs where my friends were waiting. They were hyped when I went back upstairs and I had a great time after. However, she told some of my friends the next day that I was a coward. Actually she called me something with a P that I can't write on this subreddit. I feel like what I did was fine. I just was nervous and didn't want to make her think I was trying to push anything. But we didn't really hang out again after that. So how do I avoid making that mistake next time? What should I have done? Also, I didn't really put a title on that, which might have been a problem. My friend said I should ask her to date after what I described above. I felt it was rushed, but I asked her anyways. She said she didn't want to date but we could hang out. This sort of set off some alarms in my head, but I'm a pretty chill guy so I tried my best to ignore that. Also my friends split between thinking she was playing me and that she was just really nervous around me. It ended up mostly being the second option. But it kinda went downhill from here. My friend, supposedly, saw her flirting with another guy at a party. Then another claimed she was talking to some other dude while she was also asking me to hang out, although flaking. At this point I figured there was too much drama for not even being together, so I somewhat gave up. I also got bad advice from some friends. Some said I should block her. Others said I should keep asking her to hang out. They also said I shouldn't worry about this other guy because he might not even exist and she could be trying to make me jealous, which actually ended up being true. I ended up just not talking to her and waiting for her to talk to me, which she did. We hung out in a group, very strange group since pretty much no one knew each other. And I ended up just hanging out with a friend of mine and hardly talked to her since she was hanging out with the guy that I'd been told was into her. And in the moment I decided to cut my losses and I left with my friend soon after. Anyways, there's a little more but nothing important. She ended up texting me that we'd be better as friends, which I prefer. Sorry for writing so much, just wanted to add as much context, detail as possible. My questions are, how do I avoid hanging out with her again? Setting boundaries? She's a cool person, but I don't need to get hurt like that again, and I prefer being friends. But knowing her, she'll be into me again in the next couple months, and my friends and hers will try to convince me to hang out again. They convinced me to this time even when I was fairly certain something like this would happen. She also flirts with me in person. I want to shut that down. She said we're just friends, then we're just friends. I'm not someone she can flirt with whenever she wants. She flirts with me also at literally any party we're both at. What should I have done during that kissing situation? I feel like I did the right thing, but obviously it wasn't what she wanted. What should I do if something like this happens in the future? Could I have fixed the situation afterwards? As in after she started calling me stuff, talking to other guys, or would I have been best to leave it as it was? I felt as if it wasn't worth the time or effort, but thoughts. Sorry for how long this was. I just don't want to make the same mistakes and figured I should at least use this as an opportunity to grow. TLDR. Trying to avoid making the same mistakes with a girl.